Ever hopped on a motorcycle and just, let the open road lead you to adventure?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what we're doing today, kind of.
Yeah, right.
It's a virtual ride-along. We're diving into a man, a woman, a motorcycle, taking you on a tour of Sicily.
This is going to be fun. And what's really interesting about this book is it's not just like your typical travel log, right?
Right.
It's a deep dive into Sicilian culture, but through the eyes of Jack, an Australian architect. So we're seeing it through his perspective.
And we're not just talking, about buildings and structures, although there's plenty of that.
Oh, there's a lot of that.
But we get into the food, the people, the traditions, even those little cultural quirks that make a place really unique.
Absolutely. It's those details that really bring a place to life, don't you think?
Totally, totally.
And in this deep dive, we're not just exploring Sicily, we're following Jack's personal journey of discovery.
Yeah.
He and Ruby find themselves in a region that's, grappling with its identity in a world that's changing so fast.
Okay, so we've got Jack, he's our storyteller, traveling with his partner, Ruby, who's also an architect. Now, I don't know about you, but what I found fascinating was how their professions, being architects, how that really colors their experiences.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like they don't just see a building.
Right.
It's its history, its design.
Yeah.
Almost like they're reading the stories etched into the walls.
Exactly. It's like they're deciphering a hidden language, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And through their eyes, we start to understand just how deeply intertwined architecture is with Sicilian culture, with its identity.
Oh, so I'm ready to hit the road.
Me too. Let's go.
Let's fire up this motorcycle and head out with Jack and Ruby.
All right.
We're talking sun-drenched landscapes, unforgettable characters. We're uncovering the soul of Sicily. It's funny, as I was reading about all the different people Jack and Ruby meet, it really struck me how each person, it's like they embody a different part of Sicily.
It's true.
Like the island is this mosaic, and each person is like a piece of its story.
That's a great way to put it, a mosaic. You've got someone like Zio Antonello. He's like, I don't know, like the embodiment of tradition and history,
Oh, totally.
That passion for his heritage, all the stories he tells about his family's past. It speaks to something really deep, I think, about Sicilian society.
Yeah, and then you've got Nico, right,
Yeah.
the architect.
Right.
He leaves Sicily to pursue his dreams, goes abroad, sees all this other stuff, and then comes back with like this renewed appreciation for his homeland.
He's a living example of that tension between holding on to the past and embracing the future.
Totally, totally. He's caught between those two worlds. And that's something that I felt like ran through the entire book. Like, that's not just him.
Oh, no, it's everywhere. It's like, how much of ourselves do we let go to become part of something new?
It's that tension, yeah. It's fascinating, though. You've got Cesar, the AI guy.
Right.
Represents this hyper-modern technological perspective.
Right, cutting edge.
But even he is drawn to this ancient stuff, like the whole ancient spell thing. He can't resist it.
It's like that discovery, that spell, it forces everyone to examine how they see the world.
Sure.
You've got Jojo, who's like, magic, this is awesome.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Totally. And then you've got Cesar, who's like, okay, let's break this down scientifically.
And there's Ruby and Jack, stuck in the middle somewhere.
Trying to make sense of it all.
Exactly. I feel like that spell, it's almost like it represents something bigger than itself, right? It's this symbol of like the search for meaning, like these questions that humans have been asking forever.
Exactly. That's what makes this book so fascinating. It's about how we understand the world and that there's no single right answer. What someone might see as just superstition, someone else might see as profound truth.
And let's not forget about the women in this book.
Oh, absolutely not.
They're not just like, they're in the background.
Right.
They're driving forces in this story.
100%.
You've got Julia, the tour guide, who challenges like all these traditional ideas about relationships, about love.
Right. She's not afraid to challenge the status quo.
And Simonetta, the archaeologist.
Yeah, she's an interesting one.
She really forces Jack to confront some of his own ideas about intimacy, about connection, really.
She's not what he expects, and that's kind of the point.
Their perspectives add a whole other layer, right? Like we're seeing how gender roles, expectations, how those are evolving, even in a place like Sicily, how they clash with, what people want for themselves.
It's that correlation of how do we balance our own desires with the expectations of society? How do we define ourselves?
And that brings us to, I think, another really big theme.
Yeah.
Transformation.
Absolutely. A huge theme.
Jack and Ruby, they don't just experience Sicily. They're changed by it, wouldn't you say?
It changes them completely.
Remember, they were going to do like a whirlwind tour of all of Italy.
Right. Italy in 6 weeks. Ambitious, right?
And they spend the whole time in Sicily.
That tells you something right there, I think.
They just get so drawn in.
The beauty, the complexity, it all gets under their skin, especially their relationship.
Well, we got to talk about the relationship.
Oh, yeah. Buckle up for that one.
Because let's be real, it is put through the ringer.
Big time.
Cultural misunderstandings, personal insecurities, they have to face all of it. It's almost like Sicily itself is testing them, you know.
It's like a crucible, that island.
Totally. But on the other side of that, they reach like a deeper understanding of themselves, what they want.
It's really incredible to see, actually. Remember how Jack is, at the beginning, so caught up in the past? By the end,
He's different.
he's learned to be vulnerable, to be
Yeah.
open to something new. That's powerful.
It makes you think sometimes those tough journeys, the ones that really challenge us, those are the ones that really change us, right?
No pain, no gain, as they say. But really, it's not just about individual growth, is it?
No, it's about how we connect to the places we go, the people we meet.
Exactly. We're all part of this amazing tapestry, and our journeys are always intersecting. That's what makes it all so exciting, wouldn't you say?
For sure, for sure. You know, one of the things that really struck me about this book was like how real Jack makes Sicily feel,
Oh, yeah.
even beyond the people, right?
Right.
It's like he paints these pictures with his words. You can practically see the sights, hear the sounds. I swear I could almost smell the smells coming off the page.
It's true. He's got a real knack for description. Like when he describes the architecture.
Oh, yeah.
It's evocative, you know? Like, take the Teatro Massimo in Palermo. He doesn't just say, oh, it's big and grand. He talks about the light coming through those stained glass windows.
Wow.
The echoes of all those past performances.
You feel like you're right there.
Exactly.
And the food. Don't even get me started on the food.
oh, the food.
Every other page, I had to put the book down. I was so hungry.
Pasta con la sarde.
Yeah.
Those little ricotta cannolis.
Oh my gosh, stop. It's like food is such a huge part of their culture, isn't it?
Oh, it's everything. It's not just about eating, it's about connection.
Oh.
Family, history, that feeling of sharing something special with people you care about.
Like that scene where Zio Antonello is teaching Jack how to make pasta alla norma.
Oh, I love that part.
He's got all the right ingredients. He's following his grandmother's recipe. It's like he's sharing this sacred tradition.
It is. It's beautiful. And that's everywhere in Sicily, that connection to the past. I mean, you see it in the ancient ruins, the
Yeah.
myths, the legends.
It's all there, right on the surface.
But it's also in the everyday things, you know, the way people talk, the way they interact with each other.
It's in the walls.
It's in the very air you breathe. And yeah, they don't shy away from the darker parts of their history either, like the mafia, for example.
Right, they don't sugarcoat it.
Remember that conversation Jack and Ruby had with those journalists in Sayaka? They were talking about how corruption had seeped into every corner of society.
It's like a sickness, that's what they call it.
Exactly. But even with that, there's this spirit of resilience, a determination to learn from the mistakes of the past and create a better future.
We're back to transformation.
What's the Ruby?
By the end of this book, it's so obvious how much Sicily changed Jack and Ruby.
They went through the fire and came out the other side, forever changed.
They let go of so much baggage, old hurts.
Right.
They open themselves up to new ways of seeing the world, seeing themselves, and their relationship.
Well, that's the thing about these kinds of journeys, isn't it? You don't come out the same person you went in.
Yeah, and even though their time in Sicily ends, you get the feeling this is just the beginning for them, that this experience has opened them up in a way they never expected.
And you know what? That's what I love about this book. It reminds us that no matter where we go in life, we have the power to choose how we let those experiences shape us.
We choose our own transformations.
We do.
This has been great. Everyone go check out A Man, a Woman, a Motorcycle, if you haven't already. It's such a powerful story. And we'll catch you next time for another deep dive.